for price to have a rejection back into the zone and continue to our first level of the 2758 ounce. Okay, then it can go all the way to the upside. Okay, peeps, at my FX right here, the prophetic analyst. Welcome back to my channel. So this is our usual forex market analysis, weekly analysis for the week of the 4th to the 8th of November 2024. So as you can see on the previous video, you saw how we analyzed gold Xauusd into precision, and we also had that bullishness that we were looking for, right, which you can also see somewhere around here. We were looking at this are still the same arrows in which we used to illustrate how price should play out. Okay, we had that pullback and a continuation, and we also had that break, that retracement and the continuation. Both our targets were 2800 ounce, okay, 28,000 ounce, all the way up there, but it was slightly shy away of getting to that area. But you can see the pips between there and where price reversed was not much, and probably there's an unforeseen highs or unforeseen resistance which we can't actually see. Like you can remember, okay, we know gold is creating series of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and now we are seeing gold have a new higher high, okay, which is now the recent all-time highs, which are, like I said, any high that gold creates recently, okay, is actually the new all-time highs from previous times, because we don't have resistance, as you can see looking left. Okay, so since this is a new month, we always do well to go to our weekly and our monthly time frame to see how price closed with the monthly candle closed, so that this can also guide us to a new trading month, okay, on the directional bias in which we are looking for. So here on the monthly time frame, if you look at the top left hand corner, you see prices on the monthly time frame. Okay, so you can see this bullish candle here, okay, is the month of October, which just closed or ended. So gold is still very much bullish, okay, it hasn't altered any lower lows, okay, so we are still very much on a bullish trend on the higher time frames. And now we are on the weekly time frame. Okay, when we do this top down analysis, like I said, on the first week of every month is more like to understand how price closed for the previous month with the candlestick formations and closures, so that we can use that to determine the next direction of price. So here on the weekly time frame, we can see gold creating with a reversal kind of candle, hammer, shooting star kind of candle. Okay, so you know what this means. Okay, if you do study your candlestick formations, okay, you know that this looks like more like a reversal candle. Okay, so you have to see, not just because you have seen this, but you seeing this is an heads up to an anticipated reversals that we should be looking for on gold. Okay, so but this has to follow with other confirmations that price may be ready to go to the downside on gold. Okay, but so that's why you have to still go down to your lower time frames to look for the best possible areas which you can take those trades. Okay, so here on the daily time frame, we don't have much information, so we go to our 4-hour time frames. Okay, so here on our 4-hour time frames, you can see price showing us something. Okay, if you are used to chart patterns, okay, there are chart patterns in which you are already seeing price creating right now. We have our left shoulder, okay, our head, and our price has retested from this right shoulder, from this left shoulder, giving us a new right shoulder, and we now have a head and shoulder. Okay, so price has now created a new head and shoulder for us on this area, more like a head and shoulder. So for us to confirm that happening, if we are to take any entries, we go to our lower time frames. Mind you, this is a 4-hour, which you can go lower than that, but if you want to make your entries, you can go to your 15-minute or 1-hour time frame, or even lower, okay, to look for our usual confirmations. One of our usual confirmations, which is a break, the retest on that zone, and a push continuations to this phase zone, okay, which is a 2712 ounce. Okay, then we can go all the way to 2667 ounce, which is the next level down there. Okay, so that those will actually be our bearish scenarios for for gold. Okay, then for our bullish scenarios, you know, I have to give you guys a two-way scenarios until price, because mind you, price is still very much bearish. Okay, price would be very bearish, certainly bearish, when price is able to also break the support area, okay, on trend where we have these multiple week rejections. So this area too is also another entry possibilities for sales on gold, which you have to break, retest, and push continuations to the 2665 area, which is this zone here, as you can see. So just mark out these levels on your PC, your phone, or whatever device you use in trading. So up next is GDP USD. So for GDP USD last week, you guys can see for the past 3 to 4 weeks, we have been looking for bearishness on GDP USD. And I told you guys I've been swinging GDP USD with 2% of my account all the way to our weekly area of interest. Just like you can see, the weekly area of interest price has finally gotten there. If we even thought price might have wanted to reverse from here to the upside as of last week, but price later got to our weekly area of interest, which you can see how patience has to do with this. Okay, and if you did not watch our last week video, or you think we are capping, here is the video. For the bearish side, okay, we'll be interested for price to just continue all the way first level of our 1.3004, and we are looking for, if price is able to break these lows, okay, the support area, we will be looking for price to go in all the way to the weekly area of interest, which is where our actual bullishness would continue, which is all the way down here. You can even see me write it there. All right, so that's for the bearish scenario. Okay, and welcome back. You can see for GDP USD, we have been looking for this bearishness for a pretty long time, like I said, for three weeks plus now, and I've been swinging 2%, okay, just 2% of my account after taking my partials. And we took some NFP. We also traded NFP live, okay, here last week, so signals were also being sent. All right, so for NFP trades for last week on the week the free Telegram community. So if you are not on a free Telegram community, please do want to click on the link on the description below to join our free Telegram community. There we send free signals and also free forex educational content there, and also host free live sessions, which most of these things I also analyzed with them during the week. So you can see how your weekly areas of interest are very, very strong and important. You can see I still have this right up here. If you look at our 4 videos back, you see, you always hear me speaking about area of interest since when price was somewhere around here. Since when price was somewhere around here, I was still looking for price moving from this zone to this next zone. Okay, that's why I tell you guys we trade from zones to zones. Okay, we trade from zones to zones. So when we say we trade over 500, we predict over 500 to 1,000 pips into the future. This is what we are actually speaking about. So moving forward for GDP USD, you can see how price played out just like we wanted. Okay, so now we might be looking for reversals, but let's go to our monthly time frame to see how the monthly candle actually closed for the month of October before moving ahead. Okay, so we can see for the month of October we have this bearish candle, this bearish engulfing candle, which is strongly bearish to the downside, and also we can see price is reacting off a key level. Okay, monthly, now price is actually on the monthly area of interest now. So and that's how price actually closed for last month, which is October. So let's see how price also closed on the weekly time frame. All right, so we don't really have much on price closing on the weekly time frame. We have more like a doji kind of candle, but this one is too very much massive. But we have some rejections in this area, and also price is also reacting off this weekly area of interest, which I have been spotting out, like I said, for 3 to 4 weeks now, which we have been using to our advantage. So even though you're a swing trader or day trader or scalper, this would have also been of good advantage to you. So back to our daily time frame. Okay, daily time frame, not so much information, so we go back to our 4-hour time frame to look for the best possible areas which we can take trades for the coming weeks. Okay, so for the coming weeks, okay, so then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna expand this. I'm gonna expand this too. All right, I'm gonna expand those two there. All right, so easy busy, just like we wanted last week. Okay, so since we are still very much on a bearish, what we have to understand is we are still very much on a bearish trend, because price is yet to alter this highs. Okay, price is yet to alter that high. Until price can alter that high, then we can now confirm that we are in a confirmed uptrend. Okay, we are in a confirmed uptrend. So for now, we are still very much bearish. So I'm going to give you guys the bearish and the bullish scenarios for these trades. Okay, so for the bearish scenarios, which price is still very much bearish. Okay, you're looking for price. This is an area of interest. All right, this is an area of interest. Price is reacting off this minor area of interest, so we are looking for price continuations. We already have that retest on that zone. We're looking for continuations back to this weekly area of interest to the downside. Then we can probably go all the way to 1.279 area. Okay, like so. But like I said, we are still very much on a bearish trend. So for the bullish side, we have to be patient. Patience has to be indulged. Okay, so we have to patient enough for price to break out of this high. So between this black line and this zone in which I've marked out is actually a zone. So we wait for a break out of these highs. Okay, and retest there, then a push continuations to, let's look left for our next level. Our next level could be 1.311 area. Okay, 1.311 area, like so. So that's the scenarios for our bullishness. For us to confirm bullishness on GBPUSD, you have to wait for price to break these highs, and we'll have more sales all the way to the downside if price wishes to continue on the bearishness. Already you can see price giving us some ranges here, and I believe we also have a divergence or more other confirmations, but like I said, we have to wait for price to do its thing. Okay, so that's it for GBPUSD. Up next is the DXY. All right, for the DXY we have sorry, my chart is a little bit clumsy. Okay, because we did some analysis during the weekend on the free Telegram community. That's why I said you should join our free Telegram community to knowing how we do all these things. Okay, so we can see price breaking out of this trend line. Okay, and we had a minor level area of interest on the 1 hour time frame, which we marked out. We want to break retest and push to this phase zone and all the way to the downside, which that actually happened, and now we have this reversal. So for the DXY, right, I'm going to extend this zone like so. This is currently on a certain zone. I'm going to extend this zone like so. So for the bearishness, right, this is what we are looking for. Price could give us a little range here, or a reversal candle somewhere around this zone. Okay, then continue its sales all the way to the downside and probably all the way here. Okay, so but if price does not reverse there, we could have something like a triple or quadruple top. Okay, so we could have something like a quadruple top here, right? Price to come inside here. Mind you, price reacting 1 2 3 times already, so we could have a 4th time rejection, then a push continuation to the downside. Okay, but for the bullishness, you have to be patient enough for price to break out of that highs, retest, and a push continuations to the next zone, which is the 104 area. Okay, so those are bullish and bearish scenarios for the DXY. Like I said, during the week I'm going to do a more intensive analysis. I'm going to see how I can do an intensive analysis on the DXY only, okay, during the week, so that we can have a full market projection of the dollar overall for the month of November and beyond. Okay, so that's it for the DXY. Up next is GBPJPY. Lower time frames, guys. I may not have time to do that. Okay, lower time frames, break retest. Then our next zone, which is actually our main target, is the 199 area to the upside. Just like you can see, right, we had these reversals on GBPJPY. Price came into this area, retested, and the push continuations to the upside. So which are the next level targets for GBPJPY? All right, so for let's mark out this area like so. So price could continue coming down all the way to the downside here, which we already have some bearishness there. But to be very certain on the safe side of sales, okay, we have to wait for price to break retest this area of interest, this higher time frame area of interest. Then we can go for our first level target, which is the 193 area. then we can go all the way down. Okay, for the bullishness, price has to alter these highs too. If you take this to the left, you see it's coming all the way from the left. For the bullishness, price has to alter these highs, break, retest, then go for a first level target. 100% retracement level is always very necessary. Then you can sells buys all the way to that area. So that's it for GBP JPY. Up next is Euro USD. It's a 1 hour. Wait for a pullback, okay, a slight pullback or a wick. Okay, price will create a wick into this area and close below. Then you can use your entries or however you want to enter. Okay, then you go for this first level. 100% retracement are very important. Okay, right, when you are taking your trades, 100% retracement. Don't miss taking partials or taking profit at those areas. Okay, because price could turn around when it comes to those areas. So be expecting price to come to 1.076. okay, so Euro USD, we can see how we analyze Euro USD into precision. Price came into this area and a push continuation to the downside. And also on the video, you could hear me mention that it's always important. Okay, when you always hear me mention, it's always important to take some profits at your 100% retracement level, or take all profits 100% retracement level. You can see what price did here. Price just came into that area, shy away of that area, and then continue to the upside on Euro USD. So hence why we had that reversals and price broke out. This breakout retest was something we analyzed during the weekly market forecast. So if you are not in our free Telegram community, be well to join. Okay, so for this week's, okay, so we have to look at our monthly time frame, our weekly time frame, to see how price actually closed for last week, or for last month rather. Okay, so for last month, the month of October, we had price closing super bearish. But if you look inside here, guys, you see that we have been on the range since this year, right? Since 2023, or since 2023, 2 years now, we have been on the 2-year range on Euro USD, guys. So anything we have been trading since 2022, 2023, here is January 2023. Okay, since 2023, which is 2 years now, okay, we have been on a nasty range on the higher time frame. So everything we have been trading for the past 2 years has actually been on a range. Okay, so let's go to the weekly time frame. We don't have much information on the monthly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we can see how price closed for last week. Okay, we can see that bullish reversal candle pattern. Okay, and price also rejected. So that's not just the criteria, and price is seated on our on our support level there on the weekly time frame. So let's check our daily time frame. Price actually retested on our support there, went to the upside. So let's go to our 4-hour time frame, which we can look for entry confirmations for entry. Okay, so for me, okay, this looks a little bit tricky. All right, this looks a little bit tricky. Let me take this out. All right, so to be on the safer side, all right, to be on the safer side is better if you're taking your sales from these zones. Okay, for the sales first level target, you wait for the same thing that happened here to happen here. Price to come here, retest, then the push continuations to this zone. But I'm also seeing a minor level. Okay, but this would only make sense if you are a scalper, okay, or day trader. You can find some high level pullbacks, okay, on the lower time frames. The price to come back there on the lower time frame, retest on that zone, then you can still go all the way to the downside. Okay, so that's it for the bearishness. And for the bullishness, still very much on that zone. No, okay, still very much on this other zone, but I think it only makes sense, okay, for the bullishness, for us to wait for price to clear these highs. Okay, for us to wait for price to clear this high. So I'm going to mark out this level like so. So we wait for price to, so for bullishness is still very much going to take some time, okay, for that to happen. Then we go all the way to the upside. So all we just need to do is patience. Okay, so those are our scenarios for Euro USD and what we're looking out for Euro USD next week. Do want to mark out on your PC, whatever device you're using to trade. Up next is AUD. Go down to 15 minutes, you see these lows clearly, okay, or 1 hour time frame. Wait for a minor pullback or even a deeper pullback to that area, then you can trail it all the way to 0.65 area, okay, for the bearishness. So we are still very much bearish on AUD/USD. You can see how we predicted AUD/USD into precision. We had this minor level which we marked out, plus retested back to that area and push continuations to this zone, which you can see that area, arrow there. Okay, so let's check how our weekly candle actually closed for last week. Oh, it's actually closed super bearish all the way to the downside for AUD/USD, so which is also that bearishness we predicted there. So we go to back to our 4-hour time frame to see where are the best possible areas we can trade AUD/USD. Okay, so I'm going to mark out a new zone here. You can see we have a range, a nasty range here, so this also makes sense. All right, so we have to wait for price to break out of these highs, for the bullishness break out of these highs, retest and push continuations to our next level, which is all the way to the upside. If the bullishness actually happens, okay, it's really makes sense to go for that bullishness if price wishes to go bullish, because now we have a nasty range here on the lower time frame. So any breakout you can find here, this is also an A setup, any breakout you can find here either to the upside or to the downside. Then for the bearishness, you wait for price to break here, retest, then push continuations to the downside. Okay, so any movement we can find here, we can make the best possible trades, take the best possible trades from here. Okay, last but not the least, USD/JPY. So for USD/JPY for last week, we actually predicted price to continue to the upside, and we also anticipated more continuations from here to the next zone of 155. But sometimes price has to do its thing. All right, price did not go all the way to that to the 155 area, but this 100% retracement level was respected for sure. Okay, so you can see how price has given us also another chart pattern of head and shoulders. Okay, so there are possibilities that price could do what, price could start reacting off here and the continuations to the downside. But the safest way to take these trades, okay, is the wait for the break in the neckline. Okay, break, retest of that neckline, then a push continuations to the 149 area, okay, to the downside of USD/JPY. Okay, then for the bullishness, I would mark out the zone like so. We'll mark out that zone like so. So we have to be patient enough for price to do what? Price to play that highs, create a new higher high, retest, then a push continuations to the upside. Okay, then for this bullishness, actually, if I'm to plot a trend line, which I really plot trend lines, but if you plot the trend line, you see we also have a breaking trend line here, and before we can have that bearishness. So these are actually our scenarios for the coming weeks and the coming month of November. Okay, so do well to mark out these levels on your phone or your PC or whatever device you use in trading. So that'll be it for this week, guys. Do well to smash that like button, subscribe if you are not yet subscribed. It costs you $0 to smash the like button, subscribe, or also drop a comment on the comment section, drop some fire emoji on the comment section if you are feeling our analysis, and let us know how helpful this analysis has been to you. And if you have any other forex educational content you'd like us to drop, please do well to drop it on the comment section, and we'll see how well you can drop these videos and make all those videos for you guys. And do well to watch our other videos, our previous videos, so that you can also learn a thing or two from it. And wishing you guys a successful trading month and happy new month once again to you guys, and cheers.